From outrage to blame, Republican lawmakers are slamming the bill, one calling it nothing more than a sham and another saying it's a cynical attempt to divert attention from the truth. We're joined now by Republican Congressman Mike Pence of Indiana, a member of the Republican leadership. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good to see you.
You voted against this. Why?
I did. Well, look, House Republicans are every bit as outraged as every American that AIG would use bailout funds to pay executive bonuses. We were committed to a bill that would actually require AIG to recover not 90% of these bonuses, but 100% of these bonuses before one single dollar of bailout money could be given to them in the future. This bill today was constitutionally questionable, and quite frankly, it was a transparent attempt by Democrats in the House to paper over the fact that a last-minute change in the stimulus bill to the senator from Oregon, Ron Wyden's language, made these bonus payments possible. And so
I know exactly what you're talking about, Congressman. You are talking about that secret provision that was added in this bill at the very last minute that would have prevented these types of bonuses. Let me ask you about that, because a lot of people want to know who did it. Right. Senator Chris Dodd came forward and said that he was in part responsible, but that it was also by the instruction of someone at the Treasury. Is that an acceptable explanation? Well,
it's really not acceptable. The American people have a right to know who changed the language in the stimulus bill that made these bonus payments possible. Had Senator Wyden and Olympia Snow's language remained in the bill, none of these $165 million bonuses would have been able to go out. But at the last minute, Senator Dodd, he took the blame for it, but he repeatedly said that this was about objections from the administration. Well, Republicans today on the House floor said, we need to know who in the administration felt it was appropriate to change the language in the stimulus bill so that these bonuses could flow out.
Congressman, a lot of people have questions about this, the way Congress operates, that there could just be a couple of conferees, as you call it, behind this big, massive stimulus bill, and they can sneak in a little bitty provision like this that all of a sudden makes this possible. Today, the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, said that there were no members of the House involved in that saw what Chris Dodd did. Let's listen.
This is Senate White House language. That is what you're talking about here. And so, again, we're already on record with even stronger language in the legislation that we passed. This was never brought to conference. This never came to the House side. You can talk to any of our conferees.
Congressman, does that pass the smell test for you?
Well, no, the conference committee, the final bill came to the House side, and virtually every Democrat voted for it with the language that allowed these AIG bonuses to go forward. It seems to me the excuse of many Democrats on the floor today was, don't blame us, we didn't read the bill we voted for. That's not acceptable to the American people. The country has a right to know why this language was changed at the last minute that allowed these executive bonuses to be distributed. But I want to be very clear. Republicans are just as outraged as every American about these bonuses. We thought the thing to do was to say no more bailout money to AIG until they immediately go and recover this $165 million of taxpayer money.
I just think it's pretty interesting, Congressman, that you said that twice. We just want to make sure we're just as outraged, because, a lot of people are going to look at that no vote that you and a lot of other Republicans cast today and say, you don't understand the public outrage that's going on out there.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, I opposed this Wall Street bailout from the beginning, as a majority of House Republicans did. We know this can be demagogued, and this, I think today on the House floor, in time, is going to be seen for the political theater that it was.
Do you think the Treasury Secretary, Tim Geithner, should resign?
Well, I think we need answers before we call for his resignation. We need to know whether the Treasury Secretary or other officials in the Obama administration were those parts of the administration that Democrat Senator Ron Wyden was pointing to when he said how frustrated he was that the administration knocked his language out of the bill. Your viewers should know. Had Senator Wyden's language remained in this bill, those AIG bonuses would have been prohibited from ever being distributed. Today on the House floor was just an effort to use a constitutionally questionable bill to paper over, what is a very questionable last-minute change in legislation that would have protected taxpayers.
Congressman Mike Pence, Republican, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.